Hey, we're talking Eastwood Ottomans today, and of course this was an old Gus Stickley design from the early days in the Stickley catalog. So if this is one that interests you, look for a Popular Woodworking magazine issue. You'll find the issue information in the description box of this video. It's got some great details, half-lap lower rails, little arch detail here. Then the most interesting thing is how these lower rails intersect with the legs. And that's what we're going to focus on today, and how to make those angled notches even when they come in at odd angles. Stick around, we'll jump into that topic. To get started, we just need to make a cradle. We'll use a piece of hardwood in this case. Create a little long 45-degree notch removed from the hardwood, and then we'll need to back bevel the rear edge of this block, and that's just to accommodate the odd angle that we're after. And again, it's wacky, it's 50.4 degrees, but because the ottoman is longer than it is wide, that simply means it's never going to be a 45-degree angle, it's going to be an odd angle. You've got to just draw it in SketchUp or whatever your common drafting program is and trust your angle. We did that as accurately as we could according to the antique Gus Stickley catalog, and that's what it came out at, 50.4 degrees, so that's what we're sticking with. Once you have your cradle made up, you'll mount that to a miter gauge at the table saw. Go ahead and install your leg component, and you'll be able to accurately mill those flat spots on your legs. To accomplish this, you're going to need to make an angled cradle that will hold your leg component at just the right angle so you can make accurate notches for that joinery. To do that, start with the blade at 45 degrees and cut out a hollow in a piece of 8/4 stock in this case, and tilt your blade over to 5.4 degrees. Digital angle gauge will help you with that. And then just go ahead and back bevel your cradle and create a flat spot at 90 degrees. And once you position that on your miter gauge, your component will be locked in at the correct angle. So we've got our notch started on two legs here, and we'll just continue widening the notch using our cradle as a guide against the miter fence. So we've adjusted the rip fence again, we'll make the next notch. And then for the final pass, it'll give us a 2 3/4 inch width on this notch that we need for our project. So we only cut the two legs in that manner, and then we have to switch to the other miter slot, and only if you do two legs to the left and two legs to the right will this come out with the joinery working out for this ottoman. So let's get the first notch going on these legs. We've called these B legs, and the other ones we called A legs. Just put a B on two of your legs and an A on two of your legs. We'll keep them sorted that way. So once you have a flat spot established, this joint could come together with a dowel. That's what we did for the magazine issue. You just need to center your dowels with dowel center points. Alternatively, you could actually do a mortise and tenon. Just center the mortise in the flat spot that you have. Now to make that happen easily, you can actually use the cradle again at the hollow chisel mortiser and create a standard tenon, and you'll be able to fit those parts together. They really make a nice sturdy joint at the corner, and honestly, the way this ottoman goes together with 90-degree upper joints and off-angle lower joints, it would take an earthquake to bring it back apart. So it's really a sturdy way to put things together. So here's a look at how the mortise and tenon version of this joint comes together. The nice thing is, as you slide the parts together, the joint is nicely concealed by the notches we created earlier. And so it looks good and it comes together in a really strong fashion. One trick you can do is to create a slight taper on the ends of your tenon, because you've got 4 of these coming together at the same time. And so you don't want to fight that. You want the parts to come together pretty quickly and easily before the glue can dry. So that's a nice tip there. Now, whether you're going to do the mortise and tenon version or the drill press version for dowels, you're going to use your cradle. And this will hold and position your workpiece so that you can make those cuts at either the hollow chisel mortiser or the drill press. One word of caution there. In this orientation, this flat is parallel with the work surface. If I had the leg flipped the wrong way, now I would actually be canted about 5.4 degrees off of coplanar with my table. And so just word of caution there. There's one orientation that'll work for you and another orientation that'll get you in trouble. So make sure you're staying nice and flat when you take it to the drill press or mortiser. We made a couple of these. This one is made with the dowel construction. It came together quite well. The next one we tried was actually with the mortise and tenons, and I found that even slightly easier to align and get those lower rails centered on the flat spot of the leg. Just depends on what tools you have available to you. If you've got a hollow chisel mortiser that you're using for the upper joinery anyway, it might just make sense to use that cradle to position the leg in your mortiser and easily knock out those mortises. But if you don't have that hollow chisel mortiser and you kind of struggle to make a mortise and tenon joint, you might just want to take that cradle over to the drill press where you can easily install dowels as we did in the article. Remember to check the description box for issue information from Popular Woodworking where this ottoman project appeared. You'll learn all the joinery details as well as how to upholster this great little ottoman yourself. Alright guys, there we go. Some angled notch joinery on the Eastwood ottoman. Make one, make a pair, but I think it's worth your time on the weekend to create one of these little ottomans, whether you have an actual Eastwood chair to go with it or maybe just an oversized rocker or Morris chair. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.